Hello everyone and welcome to the classic companion video to go along with new season information. So we're going to start the new season for our Forza series very shortly. It's actually coming up within a week, so it's this upcoming Friday, which is April the 18th. So yeah, if that break feels like it went pretty fast, that's because it did. I feel like it always feels that way. But it was about like pretty much damn near exactly like a month off break, and now it's time to get back to racing. So we're going to be doing it this Friday. And yeah, if you haven't been following in the Discord, I'm going to try to go over all the testing that we've been doing recently, and then also talk about the new season a bit. If you have been following that stuff, then you probably already know some of this, or well, most of it probably, or heard some of it, or if you were there for the test night, obviously. But this is supposed to be for maybe people that weren't, because I know not everybody was able to make it out to the test night. So, a lot of different things to go over. And in the background, I'm actually doing a race in the public series for the Forza Touring cars. And we were able to race the car that we're doing for next season in this series. That is one nice thing about this pick, too. That was kind of unfortunate with the MX-5s, is that those are really fun to run. But the public playlist for the MX-5s is not a consistent one. It's not always in the game. There is one, and it is in the game sometimes, but it's not very consistent. Although, luckily, I do think it was in the game for the week leading up to that series, so we were able to do some really good testing with that. But after that, it was pretty much all, like, rivals and, private practice and stuff like that, if you wanted to get some experience. This is the nice thing already, like, one of the nice things for this next series is that, again, this playlist for these cars is always up. So you are always able to hop into one of these races and practice. It can be a little bit different depending on what week it is. Sometimes it's medium races, sometimes it's long races, sometimes it's short races, and they also have a rotation of the tracks. So some of the tracks that we are going to race in the season definitely are in there, and then there's also a bunch of other tracks that are ones that we're not going to be racing on. So there is a whole bunch of variety there, and obviously you're competing against all the cars in that class, so you're going to be competing against cars that we're not competing against. We're not doing a touring car season. We're just doing the Elantra. So it's not, it's not perfect. It's not perfect for practice, but I definitely think it's a lot better than just being able to do the rivals, which is, kind of how it was with the MX-5. So that's a really nice perk of this car that we ended up going with. And again, in case you missed it, in case you can't tell which one I'm running, it is the 2021 Hyundai. I never know how to pronounce it. I always say Hyundai, but I don't know. Number 98, Brian Herta Autosport Elantra N. That is exactly word for word what it says in game. And it is, if you need even more help than that, but if you go to the Hyundai category, it should be pretty easy to find. It's also rated 670 on, what is it, the performance index, I think is what they call it in game. So yeah, rated 670 there. But again, it's the Elantra, not the Veloster. That's easy to get confused. So again, the Elantra, not the Veloster. If it helps you remember it, I'm calling it the Elantra, so it makes it a little bit easier to remember, in my opinion. That's the car that we went with. And I think one of the most interesting aspects about it is that it's four-wheel drive, but forward. Did I say four-wheel drive? My bad. Forward, front-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive. There we go. A little faded. This is a late Sunday recording, but all good. Again, front-wheel drive. But I will give credit to these cars. I don't think this one feels as weird as some of the other front-wheel drive cars in this class. Most of them are front-wheel drive. I think almost all of them are. I think there might be only one exception that's rear-wheel drive. I think it might be the Levorg. I can't exactly remember. But if you don't, know much about that, they definitely, when a car is going to be front-wheel drive, it definitely handles quite a bit differently than the typical rear-wheel drive cars that we're going to be, doing for most series. So definitely worth doing some testing with these cars to figure that out. Although, again, I think this one is a little bit easier to get used to the feel of than some of the other front-wheel drive cars. Like, for some reason, I don't know, this one just feels a little more natural to me. And just in general, like, the handling of this car feels really good. And that was probably, I would say, the primary reason why we wanted to go with this car for the season, was just because it handles so damn well. And I think that that's probably like the most important thing for our series currently is the handling. So obviously the Porsche has a lot more power, but that is fun, and our test with the Porsche didn't go that bad. But I do think that like overall for like most of the field, I think that the Porsche will be quite the challenge. Whereas this car will be a step up from the MX-5, but it's pretty easy to drive. Like I don't think it'll be that intense. I think mostly the focus on this car will be on good racing, and that's what I want, primarily. And I definitely think we can have good racing with when we get to the NASCAR series and when we get to the Porsches again. Because again, if you already made schemes for those, don't scrap them, keep them around. We definitely want to do some GT stuff. It's always been part of the plan. Just want to climb the ladder and do it the right way, and hopefully everybody's like a lot better, a lot more experience with the game, and we can get like the best experience out of it when we do get around to it. So again, keep those schemes around, and I definitely want to get to the Porsche at some point because I do really like it, and I do think it's a good like end goal, I guess, for a Forza series for the year. But as of like right now, I just thought it was a little too early. Again, the three main contenders, we also tested a upgraded version of the MX-5, so the same car that we ran last season, but I just put some upgrades on it, did a custom tune on it, and we messed around with that. That was pretty fun. That was actually pretty fun, but I don't know. It was fun, but once we, at least for me personally, when we started testing on it, while I did enjoy the upgraded version of the Mazda, once I started testing on it, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of cars in this game, and the Mazdas were fun, and maybe like one day it would be fun to return to them, but to go to the next season, I think we're still at a point where I'm down to like climb the ladder and do different types of cars and try different things, because we're so new with the Forza stuff. It feels to me at this point, again, like it could be fun down the road to return to the MX-5s, but right now we don't know how much Forza stuff we're gonna do. Try to get the most out of it and try to hit the main goals. And these touring cars are definitely one that I wanted to do at some point, and I even considered them for a short track showdown for our first series instead of the MX-5s. I even considered these cars. We were thinking about going with the Honda Civics at one point. I don't think these Elantras were in the game at the time when we were coming up with that series. I think they came out a month later, actually. But yeah, we were considering the Civics. Like, this was definitely something that I wanted to try out for us to race at some point, because I think these cars, again, handle really well, and I think that the focus with these cars is mostly going to be on good racing, especially on some of these tracks, like even on the road courses. I've had in these cars and in these public matches, there are some dumb people, don't get me wrong, but when you get like solid racers and people that you're close with and comfortable with and competitive with in terms of like pace and time, I've had some of my best battles on road courses in particular in these cars on this game, genuinely. Again, when you get the dumb people, that doesn't work out. But when you get the the 3-letter clan tag, gamer tag people, and then you can be close with them, it can work out really well, and it can be really fun. And you can get a little bit of beating and banging in these cars, but it's not too crazy. It's kind of like the MX-5 where you can lean on each other a little bit and not like destroy somebody. Whereas with the Porsche, it's a lot faster, so that contact tends to happen a lot quicker at times, and so like the consequences of that contact in the Porsches tends to be a bit worse. Again, whereas with these cars, I feel like you can have a little bit of fun, rubbins racing, right, and beat and bang a little bit, and actually like get away with it and have a good time, still have a good race, and have it not be like too big of a deal, which is kind of similar to the MX-5. So again, I think that's a good thing. But yeah, like they're a good step up. Definitely have more horsepower, and we definitely have like way more braking power and better handling and stuff like that. But it's not too crazy. Again, like the Porsche, the step up from the MX-5 to the Porsche, the best way I could explain it is it's like jumping like 3 divisions. It's like such a huge jump. Like most people like racing in real life, unless you're not like really freaking cracked talented, are jumping like that many divisions. And I wanted, overall for most people in our series, I wanted to have that progression because I thought it would be, again, like better in terms of the racing, right? Like as we improve with the game, we'll step it up accordingly. And so that should hopefully be better for the racing. But also, again, just to have like that authentic experience and that authentic climb. Like, it's almost like we're doing something for our league that's almost like this is a reference that not everybody's gonna get, but Dirt to Daytona, super old GameCube NASCAR game where you start on dirt and slowly like climb up the divisions, kind of having something like that, but for our multiplayer league. I think that's just kind of a cool concept, cool idea. And like once we get through a few of these series and keep stepping it up, I think it'll be really cool, like looking back on it and like seeing that progression, not just in terms of like us improving with the game, but also with the cars and the power of the cars, difficulty of the cars alongside that. Like, I think it'll be a really cool progression to watch. But again, so I went through like most of the reasons. It handles really well, races really freaking well. You can get a little bit, you can beat and bang a little bit, but it's not too crazy. So just like all the reasons why I thought this would be a good car to do for the next series. And again, the Porsche test was not that bad, but just definitely felt like a big jump and felt like it would maybe not be, it would be fine, but it would maybe not be the best racing possible. Whereas I still think we can have really, really good racing with these cars right now and then get more used to it. And then when we get to the Porsche, we'll have good racing once we get to it. Again, whereas like right now, I think it'd probably be pretty spread out. And when there's crashes, they'd probably be like pretty bad. And yeah, the MX-5, cool to try the souped up version. But not just the thing that I mentioned about wanting to try a new car, but also I'm not very experienced with the tuning. And I tried to do the tuning myself, and the tune wasn't that bad, but it could definitely use some work. But I'm not, I'm not a gearhead. I mostly just download the tunes and race. I'm not very good at that stuff, and I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just mostly taking the advice of DJ, who's a lot better with that, and trying my best. So that was another reason with those two. So the schedule, the current look at the schedule that I have right now is this. Okay, so there it is. Sorry, starting to feel the allergies coming on, and that's not very fun. So first race, we're gonna start at the Homestead Oval, and I think we're gonna do a Triple Crown for this one. So that should be very fun. Really looking forward to that. Obviously, Grand Finals at the end of last season, Homestead was really fun, and a lot of people wanted to do another moto. Well, guess what? 3 freaking motos at Homestead to open up the season. It's going to be a crazy season opener, too, because Homestead is so crazy. Like, who knows what could happen in these races. We could have a really interesting look in the points and stuff like that. To kick off the season, I'm really curious to see what exactly it looks like. So, yeah, that should be really fun. So, kick it off with Homestead Oval. And then the second week, we're going to go to the Hakone GP circuit. I think that one is going to be a really good first road course for us to run in the season. I think it should be a really good race for a road course too, because it's on the easier side, in my opinion. So I think the racing should be really close, and we might actually have like one of our better road course battles on this one. I would not be surprised if that happens. So it should be pretty fun. But again, I think it makes sense as that second race to get us used to the road courses, because I think it's probably the easiest one in the schedule, but should be really fun for racing. Third race, we're coming back to Hockenheim. Hockenheim, short layout, so another Grand Finals return a couple weeks after Homestead returns from the Grand Finals. Hockenheim was really fun in the Grand Finals. Definitely a race that could have deserved another moto. Well, guess what? We're going to get 2 motos for Hockenheim here week 3. Week 4, we're going to do the Silverstone International Circuit. If you're familiar with the full track that they race in F1, the International Circuit is like the same thing but cut in half. Definitely try it out in game. I think it's really fun. It's one of the short track layouts that I considered for obviously our last series, but it didn't quite make the cut. And now I'm introducing it in this one, as I think it races really, really, really well with these cars. I actually think this one's a lot of fun. Really looking forward to this one and being one of the new tracks on the schedule. And then week 5, we're going to do Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen short. And Watkins Glen's going to be a lot of fun. Originally, I had it earlier in the schedule, but I thought that was a little bit brutal because it is pretty tough. But this short layout of Watkins can always be just a ton of fun and really, really fast track. A lot of really fast corners, really flowy. And the inner loop's really satisfying to figure out correctly And yeah, this is one that I definitely wanted to race in the last season, didn't work out, so here it is. Here it is now. After that, week number 6, we're gonna get back on an oval again with Eagle Rock, and with the other ovals, with the other ovals being like super speed racing on those ovals, I'm still doing the no pit, just soft tire, no wear. Like I still plan on doing that for those ovals. I'm considering for Eagle Rock not doing it for Eagle Rock because we didn't do it for Eagle Rock in the short track showdown. We did it like the normal road course pitting and strategy and stuff like that, and it worked pretty well for this track in particular. So we'll see. Like the other ovals all being like super speedway type, expect that same type of rule set for the other ovals in the season. But for Eagle Rock, I will consider doing it the way that we did last season and just having it be normal with the pits and stuff like that. Because for Eagle Rock in particular, I think it actually works pretty well that way. So kind of just like trying to have the rules line up with the track. God, there's so much. I need to blow my nose. The allergy cheese, it's horrible. We got to get through this. Okay, week number 7 is the track that we're watching in the background of this video. Me do a race on in the background of this video. So Road Atlanta, we did the Road Atlanta short course. Another thing, returning from the grand final last season, we did the Road Atlanta short course. Well, now we're doing the Road Atlanta full course. And we're doing 2 motos around that. And again, that is what I've been racing in the background here this whole time. So I really like Road Atlanta in general. Really excited to extend it out to the full course. And yeah, hope to have another fun race here, as I think this track is really difficult, really challenging, but really fun when you get the hang of it. Round number 8, we're going to have our biggest, certainly our biggest road course in the schedule. We're going to go to Road America. Stepping up the car class a little bit, we're going to start adding in, some longer tracks and have it not be like all short tracks and stuff like that. We've already reflected that at other points in the schedule. And the biggest example of this is Road America, at least on the road course side here, is Road America for sure. Obviously, track that I love, and really excited to race it in these cars, as the racing can be extremely competitive, because with these cars, with the long straightaways on Road America, it can almost be like a freaking drafting race on the oval with those long straightaways. Like, as long as you can keep close in the corners, there's a lot of draft. It can be really tight racing, and that can actually be really fun and really different. So I'm actually really looking forward to it and seeing how it turns out. Week number 9, we're going to do the Indianapolis Oval, which should be similar to Homestead, like drafting, huge oval-style racing. Should be really fun. And then a Triple Crown to end out the regular season, round number 10. Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca, a track pretty special to us in Halo, and we've done it as a season closer before, and doing it as a season closer here for this Elantra series. So should be pretty fun to get to race on Laguna Seca at the closer, as again, it's a track that we didn't get to do last season. I love Laguna Seca. I don't really care for the short layout, so it was just a little big for last season, but this season definitely had to include it. One of my favorite tracks in the game. Similar stuff that I'd say for Road Atlanta, like very flowy, but also very challenging. But again, when you get the hang of it, one of the most satisfying tracks to just nail good laps on. And we could definitely have some great battles here too. So looking very forward to getting to race Laguna Seca finally. And then real quick, we'll go over the grand final. So grand final, we're going to debut the Sunset Peninsula Oval to kick it off this time. Not the oval race in the middle of the grand final. It's going to kick it off again with Sunset Peninsula. And Sunset Peninsula is a freaking massive, wide open. It's like the closest thing to Talladega, I would say, in the game. But it's also got a little bit of Pocono, because it's almost like a weird triangle shape. It's very, very interesting, very unique. But Sunset Peninsula Oval is very fun, and again, it should be a wide open drafting style oval. So that'll be a very crazy way to open up the grand final. Should make things very interesting. And then we have a couple other great tracks from last season making their way into a grand final appearance here. So Grand Oak Club, we had a Triple Crown, a lot of racing on Grand Oak Club last season. Again, it was the season closer. Well, now it's going to be in a grand final spot. And yeah, should be another fun race, as again, I think it's a nice like intermediate road course type track and just put on a really good show last season. And to close out the grand final, we're going to close it out on the Brands Hatch full circuit. So we did the Brands Hatch short circuit in the last season, and that was a lot of fun. But we also tried the rain experiment, so we only got one race on the normal one. Well, now we're going to close out the season with the Brands Hatch full circuit. No rain, no cheese like that, just Brands Hatch, the full thing. A great race on it, hopefully, and should be a really good season closer. One of my favorite tracks in the game. It has great flow, and just the way it's designed and how close you have to get to just going off the track and just absolutely ruining your race to run a fast time. It's just very, very fun, very exciting. So yeah, that closes it out. And let me know what you guys think about the new season. Hope the video was good and informative. We had a pretty good race there. Had to start really far back, but take a look at the lap times. We're definitely really good in that department. I think we could have finished second, honestly, if I started pretty far up instead of starting in like last or wherever I started. It was pretty far back. But fun race, getting some good practice in on a track that we're going to race in the regular season. Something you guys should definitely try to do as well. Let me know what you think about the new season coming up, and we'll have a lot more videos like this cooking up here soon. Now that we're getting really close to starting up again. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you on Friday.